Hello. Today the topic is about structure of synapse and the transmission of impulse across the synapse. Before going into the topic, you must first understand the definition of a synapse. A synapse is a small gap at the end of a neuron that allows a signal to pass from one neuron to the next. The neuron which is before the synapse is known as presynaptic neuron, and the neuron after the synapse is the postsynaptic neuron. It is better to understand the whole structure by dividing into categories that are presynaptic, synapse, and the postsynaptic. Let us first look at the presynaptic neuron. The presynaptic neuron contains several structures. You need to know these structures and its function. The first is synaptic vesicle, which is this rounded structures having these blue dots. The synaptic vesicle contains neurotransmitters. There are various neurotransmitters which I will cover in different video. The second is neurotransmitter reuptake pump, which is this circle with two opposite arrows. The neurotransmitter reuptake pump will take the remnants of neurotransmitters back to the presynaptic neuron. You may be confused at this point, but as we go through the transmission of impulse, you will understand about the function of the neurotransmitter reuptake pump. The third structure is the voltage-gated calcium channel, which is this circle with one arrow pointing into the membrane. The voltage-gated calcium channel allows calcium ions from the surrounding to enter into the presynaptic membrane. Then, moving further, we have synaptic cleft, which is gap between the presynaptic and the postsynaptic membrane. After the synaptic cleft, we have the postsynaptic membrane. In the postsynaptic membrane, there are ligand-gated ion channels. The ligand-gated ion channel will allow the ions to flow into the postsynaptic neuron. The type of ions that are flowing into the membrane are dependent on the type of neuron. These ligand-gated ion channels sometimes are attached with the receptor for the neurotransmitter or sometimes exists as a separate entity. The receptor for neurotransmitter serves as attachment place for the neurotransmitter. Now we will look at the transmission of impulse across the synapse. Voltage-gated calcium channels in the cell membrane are opened when a nerve impulse reaches the axon terminal. Calcium ions rush into the cell from the outside because they are much more concentrated outside than inside of the neuron. Synaptic vesicles containing neurotransmitters will move forward, fuses with the membrane, and neurotransmitter are released into the synaptic cleft. Neurotransmitter molecules spread out across the synaptic cleft and interact with receptor proteins on the postsynaptic cell. Ion channels in the cell membrane open or close in response to the activation of postsynaptic receptors. Depending on the ions involved, this may be depolarizing, which means increasing the cell's internal positive charge, or hyperpolarizing, which means increasing the internal negative charge. In some cases, the neurotransmitter effect on channel behavior are direct, whereas in other cases, the receptor is not an ion channel itself, but activates ion channels through a signaling pathway, like CAMP mechanism. The neurotransmitters are then broken down by specific enzymes. Then, the remnants are taken by the neurotransmitter reuptake pump back into the presynaptic neuron for the synthesis of new neurotransmitters. I will give an example. If the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, and it will be broken down by acetylcholinesterase. The remnant of acetylcholine is taken back into the presynaptic neuron. There are many variations and deep topics about the synapse which I will cover in upcoming videos. These are some questions that can test your remembrance of the topic. Pause this video and try to answer them. That's all regarding structure of synapse and the transmission of impulse. If you find value in this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, as this will motivate me into doing more videos like this. If you have any biology topics that need discussion, send them via the Google form that I have linked below. Thank you and see you in the next video.